The Singapore Premier League currently has 8 teams, one of which is a developmental side, the Young Lions, who are the under 21 boys who participate in the league to make up numbers. And we have a foreign team as well, Albrecht Niigata. So that's 2 teams who are not really part of the Singapore Premier S League back then, Singapore Premier League fabric. And then you have 6 teams who make up all 8 teams.
When we decided to come to Singapore, I searched a little bit because my former agent phoned me and said, like, come on, man, if you be there in Singapore, you should be playing. There is a proper league over there. It's a good standard. Can I make some phone calls?
If you look at the 2022 SPL season, there are 4 rounds. So you're playing the same opponent 4 times. And if you ask any player, I'm sure he will tell you it gets boring. It gets mundane. It gets predictable.
I want the local football to succeed by, in terms of players, so progressing, maybe reaching the Asian League. And for the supporters, why hopefully one day we can manage to get a full house for local game actually.
Now we live in a situation where teams coexist in stadiums, 2 teams to a stadium. So Geylang and Tampines share our Tampines hub. Lion City Sailors and Young Lions share Jalan Besar. Hougang have their own stadium. Balestier have their own stadium and stuff like that. Albrechts and Tanjung Pagar share a stadium as well. But back then, they used to have their own stadium.
Of course, Singapore football is still lacking of investment. I think once they realize that they want to get football really professional over here, they need to invest more. That means putting more money in the game. I don't think Singapore is still prepared for it because here they take education really seriously. So the children, when they are growing up, they play football, but it will be only for like having some activity.
The global Singapore society does not exactly align with sport. I don't think sport has ever been the center focus in Singapore. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, and that's the truth of the matter. I mean, we gained independence, 1965? And since then, it's been a big push for academic qualification, paper chasing, money chasing, I mean? And that's fair. Look at the development Singapore has made over 50, 60 years, and you see why there has been a bigger push.
We used to be the kings of football in Asia in the 90s and 80s. Then apparently our football standard kind of dropped terribly.
Back then, there was more clamor. I think there was more excitement. I think, unfortunately, I don't think the support has died down purely because the entertainment has died down. But I just think Singapore as a culture has evolved. I think with the internet, they've grown interest in other things. And unfortunately, therefore, that cultural shift has happened where I guess if I can switch on my TV and watch Netflix, why am I going to go to the stadium and watch football, right?
For me, back in the days, I just watch which team wins, I just support the team. But now I never support anything. I just support my own team only, Hougang United. The only one.
I mean, the atmosphere of the club is more like a family club. I feel like really near something like to Crystal Palace when I was over there. The squad, the coaches, and everything, and also the supporters. We have for sure the best supporters in Singapore. They're always there, in every game, always supporting us, no matter which is they score. They've been really supportive toward us.
Yeah, until one time there's a match Singapore against Malaysia. So these Malaysia fans, they call themselves the Ultras Malaya. So they come in very big groups, walking in the streets. From there, I do my own research about local football. And apparently, I found this supporter called themselves Hougang Hools, which is supporting Hougang United.
I mean, you can hear a lot because normally there is not too many people in the stadium. Like if it's not too crowded, So when it's not too crowded, you can hear them properly, like the whole game. Good experiences over there. I remember when I scored a few goals and the supporters were there, like shouting my name and supporting the club. It's good, you know. It's good when you are playing and you see and you hear them shouting your name, trying to put your concentration in place, you know. So it's good to have them on your back.
Hougang Hools actually is more like we call ourselves a community actually. But for us, we've been following the ultras culture. We've been chanting 90 minutes in the stadium. We dress up also. We kind of follow with the UK style, which is casual culture. So it kind of mix up actually. And even we have contacts and friends, and from there we do our own exploration of ultras culture around the world.
The Hougang Hools stand out as one of the bigger fan groups in Singapore who, rain or shine, they're cheering their team on. And I think the beauty about Singapore is even if it's home, even if it's away, your fan groups will always travel with you. You can be playing at Hougang Stadium or you can be playing at Jalan Besar or our Tampines Hub. You can count on your fans to be there because geographically it's just easy to get to.
Every game they're there. So of course that makes you want to play even more, want to run even more. So I think they're a really special part of our success.
That is the sort of support you cannot expect from every fan. But if there's a big fan base pushing in that direction, at least you hope it'll be infectious enough to draw other people in. And I think Hougang will do that very well.
Local games quite boring actually. They find it like every time over here, the locals here they tend to they never support any local, not even football.
When I say I'm like a Hougang United player, they're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. Wow, that's so nice. Where did you play before?" And then I say like Crystal Palace, they're like everybody's shocked. Oh, you played there.
Cable TV came into Singapore in the early 90s, I would think, and I think that had a big impact in terms of the accessibility of the English Premier League.
The locals here, they love football. They love the English football. So having like clubs like Liverpool, of course, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and like Crystal Palace, which has been there for almost 10 years in a row now. So it's been great. They're like really expecting a really good game.
While I can't blame the vast majority of Singaporeans who've opted to watch the Premier League and invest their time in the Premier League, I think there is room to enjoy both. I do think you can't expect the Singapore Premier League to be at the English Premier League standard like that. It's not going to happen like that.
I think it's normal because it's all about investment, like I was saying before. You know, like the biggest investment in football is in the Premier League. So of course, then goes marketing, there goes the best players in the world, best teams, and when the Premier League starts, you never know who is going to win.
Let's say these are the people who support the league. These are the people who don't support the league. And then you have the fence. There's a lot of people sitting on the fence. How are we going to bring those on the fence?
I wish we could have the same atmosphere in the local league. You know, I mean, when they announced the game, I think like a month ago, the whole city was buzzing. Like people, all they've been talking about is Liverpool and Crystal Palace.
Recently, when the team was in Vietnam as well, there were Hools who had traveled from Singapore to Vietnam. Mind you, this is amidst a pandemic. I think that speaks volumes of the passion they have for their club.
Actually, it was a really nice surprise. It's far away. It was a game on Monday. That shows how much supportive they are toward us. You know, that shows what Hougang United means for them. It's not about Andre, Pedro, Zulfami. It's not about players. Of course, it is. They have their preferred players for sure, but like it's about the club, passion they have toward the club. It's amazing. You know, to just grab a flight and go to another country, have international travel to go to see a football team to play.
Whenever the team goes, we follow them, no matter the result, no matter they are doing bad. We always be for the team. it's a connection. It's a family thing. It's a connection for Hougang.
Goal for Hougang United by player number 23.
Satu hati, satu Hougang. So one heart, one Hougang. It means where we are belong in.
A common man can relate to them in that sense. You know what I mean? Like an everyday Singaporean can relate to Hougang, their estate, because it's familiar. It's HDB flats everywhere. It's what you grew up watching: playgrounds, coffee shops, those kind of stuff. It's not like, for example, Tiong Bahru, or you know what I mean, one of more hipster estates kind of thing. It's very 1990s, very early 2000s, very throwback, very old school Singapore, I think.
Hougang United, why is it important for me? Because it's a connection for Hougang community to be there watching football together. It's a family for us.
It's not a ghetto there, or it's not violent or anything there, but you just have a bit of edge when you're opposition. I think every season Hougang come in as dark horses almost, and I think that plays a part in who they are as a neighborhood.
Once I stepped in the football club, like Hougang United, I felt the joy of playing football again. So that's why it's been really good times for me here in Singapore.
To answer your question about how the Hougang Hools or how these fervent football fans compare to the rest of the society, I do think unfortunately they still remain a minority. I still think their mindset may be slightly different compared to the mainstream Singaporeans.
The club deserves a title. But for that happens, needs to get more investment. But I really wish that Hougang United can be champion the next years.
Why not? If you can support a team all that far away, rock up to your local stadium. It's probably 5 bus stops away from your house, and come support the local team and show the same amount of passion, because that's what they need. Yeah.
I really want Hougang Rules to grow big actually one day. Maybe someone take over my couple rule after, because I think going to be 8 years already in Hougang Rules. So hopefully looking for those kids take over us actually and expand more actually.
Kami tak akan hilang selagi kita bersatu. Oh Hougang selalu bersatu. Oh Hougang selalu bersatu. Oh Hougang selalu bersatu. Semangat kami tak akan hilang selagi kita bersatu. Oh Hougang selalu bersatu.